Hi, in this video I'm going to be taking these two ECTO-1 vehicles and I'm going to try to make a good one out of both. Now, when you first look at these vehicles, they may seem like they're okay, but they both have some issues with them, and I think that I can pull them all apart and pretty much complete one of these and make it sellable. I already have one that's in really great condition, but these just came into my lap from a toy haul, this huge toy haul that I bought, and I want to resell them, but I want to make one really good one so that when somebody buys it from me, they have an almost complete piece. So that's what we're going to do in this video. Now, I've taken these apart before, not on camera, but I've done it before. I found a really easy way to do that without any tools to pull the chassis off of the body. So that's what we're going to do. Now, you can see with this one here, it's quite a bit yellow than the one on the right. The windshields on it are pretty good. You'll see that the stickers on this one is quite bad, but we're going to take all these apart and put together the best parts from the two. And if we look inside the back, you'll notice it's missing the back door. You can take the chassis off of the body and switch the chassis around, and we could do that with this one, and then that way the whiter one on the right would have the claw on the inside. So these gears look really good. It looks like they will actually work. And you can see that the rope is clipped around it with a brass clip. So if we have to take this out, I'm going to do that. Actually, I'm going to take the claw off of this one instead of switching the chassis. You can see here that there is a tab broken on this one, so I'm not going to be able to just switch the chassis. And you can see on this one here, it does have the tab. So I'm definitely going to want to use the bottom of this vehicle, and you can see the claw has been broken off. That probably happens because when a child is playing with this, they put it in the locking position, and once it gets reeled into the ECTO-1, the child zooms the car around, and when it's in locking position like that, it turns the rope until it's so tight that I think it just probably breaks off. So let's get into this. We're going to tear this thing apart. So the tools we're going to need for this operation is a Phillips screwdriver, a medium size. We're going to need some scissors. I've got a lighter here. I do have a slotted screwdriver, but it's really thin and really small. So we're going to need a slotted screwdriver. I'm going to need some tweezers of some sort. And an awl. And I'll show you how to use all these tools for this job. The top chair just pops out. It's just in there with friction. And if we turn it around and look at the bottom, we can see that there's 3 screws right here in the front. Now all of these screws are the exact same size. There's 5 in total that holds this car together. There's 3 for the chassis and the body, and there's 2 on the inside for the windshield. So once you lift the front up, you can get the dashboard out and the doors. That's really handy. And looking inside, you can see how the gray around the back lights is part of the chassis, and the body is on the inside. So what we want to do is we want to pull the front out just a little tiny bit, and then we're going to turn it around, and we're going to lift up on the body and pull the body towards you while pulling the chassis away from you. And if you lift up, it will just pop out. And it just pops out just like that. Don't be afraid of breaking anything. You just want to be careful. You can see that those back parts of the body here, they flare out a little bit. And they fit into this chassis part here that also flanges out. That's why it's really hard to get out. I'm going to show you on the other car too. Again, we're going to do it twice. So next we have two screws here that holds the windshield in place. We pull those two screws out, we'll be able to pop the windshield out. So you can see that there's a little hook there. I never noticed that this hook was even in there until I took my first ECTO-1 apart. Didn't even know it was in there. I think it's for hooking the ghost claw onto. So we can push in on the side windows here, and it'll just pop right out just like that. You can see here, this is the chassis with the broken clip, but it also has the piece that I need, the ghost claw. So we need to release this ghost claw off of this. Now there's these little brass clips on both sides of the string, and you just need to get something into that clip to pry it apart. So I'm going to use this awl because it's nice and thin, and get it right in there, and then you can push on that awl and move it forward and get that opened up a little bit, just enough to pull one side of the string out. Now that that's done, we want to put it on the other chassis, but we need to have this other rope that's broken here. You can see there's the clip there that we took off the other one. We have to cut that off. Let's just use some scissors. I'm going to hold onto this clip. You never know, when I have another claw that's got a broken clip or something like that, I could always make my own string and use the clip to clip it back onto the claw. So we'll hold on to that. So looking at this windshield we just took out, it's a little bit yellowed on the top, but I actually didn't realize that until I took it out of the car. You can see there's the little hook there. And for the doors, I'm probably going to be using these two doors. So here's the other car. I'm going to take the doors out here, and we're going to take these two pieces apart like I showed you earlier. So what you want to do again is you want to pull the front end out once you get all the screws out, and then of course take that little dash out. So you pull the top up, pull it up, and pull it towards you at the same time. And this one has the back door. You can see that. You can pull that out of there too. And we're going to pull it up and towards us, and just like that, it pulls out. So the windshield on the right is not as yellowed as the one on the left, but the hook is a little damaged and the windshield is quite a bit damaged, where this one on the left, it's just there's not a lot of damage on it. It's just a little dirty. We'll be cleaning this up anyway. So I'm going to be using this left windshield for my my better version of the ECTO-1. Now for the body, I'm going to be using this body. The side wings for this body is really good condition, and I'm going to use that one. It's a little bit more white. For the dashboard, I'm going to use this one on the left. It's a lot bluer. Now I've got quite a few examples of the chair that goes on the top, and it's supposed to have a seat belt. I have one on the right with the seat belt. The other two are missing a few parts. This one here is missing, has a broken piece on the front and is missing one of the joysticks. Both of these are missing the belt, and the one on the left is missing the gun. So I'm probably going to be using the one on the left, so I'm going to take the gun off of this one and put it on that one. Now the idea is to just make a good one out of this. I could do a repair on these chairs and make some handles that are missing and make a new seat belt, which would be pretty easy repairs. But the idea behind this video is to show you guys how to pull it apart. We're going to use a little bit of lighter fluid on this dash and get rid of those black marks just to clean it up a little bit. You can see that's coming off really good. Yeah, that's better. All right, now is the task of getting this claw on our new chassis. So I'm going to take this slotted screwdriver, put it into that brass clamp, and I'm just going to force it in there, force the screwdriver into it, and it's going to open up that piece of brass so that I can get the string back into the clamp. So just put that through like that. Now there's a little bit of fraying on this, so let's get our lighter out and fix the fraying on the end of this little string or rope. It's a really heavy duty string. It's pretty nice material, so it's probably pretty hard to break, but as you can see, it is possible to do. Once you get the brass on one side, you have to thread it through the gear, and then with that little clip or clamp or whatever you want to call it, now you have to thread that through. And that can get a little tricky. If you open this brass up really wide, then you can do it without a tool, but I'm just going to use this screwdriver and thread it through. So now let's close that brass clamp up just using these pliers, and that will clamp down on the rope, and then we'll have a nice snug secure fit. There. Now you have to thread this through the body first before you do this, but I'm taking the other clamp off of the ghost claw also, because the ghost claw, it is really frayed, so I'm going to fix that. I'm going to thread it through the chassis once I get the claw off, and I'll do the exact same thing on that side. Here's the ghost claw. It's all set. It's on there. So now we want to test it. So you pull that over to the side, and that engages the gears, and then when you turn the back wheels, it reels in the ghost claw. So let's just put this together. We're just going to do the opposite of what we did before. I'll show you how we do that. So putting this back on, you still don't need any tools. You just take the palm of your hand, make sure the top is lifted up a bit, and you punch it in. And if you go to the other side, sometimes the other side doesn't go in. So you just have to do the same thing on this side. Hold on to the front, push it with your palm. There we go. And then we can put the doors in. You want to do this before you put the 3 front screws in the chassis. So nothing is broken on all 4 of these doors. I'm just using the ones that have the better stickers. Once you have it in place, you can just push down on the chassis. The chassis does have a little tab that pushes into the door, and then we have these 2 tabs at the bottom of the chassis that needs to be in the spot that needs to go, and we can put the other door in. This one's a little harder because you've already got the kind of the chassis together, so you don't want to pull the chassis apart to get this in and then have the other door fall in. So you can just lift it up a little tiny bit and then push it down, and you should be good. Now we just need to put the screws in. Putting the back door on is pretty simple. It's got 2 tabs. It fits in right here, right on the bottom, and you can almost bend this door and it will just fit right in, and it goes together. You see that the doors are working now. You always want to test that out before you decide that you're done. Got the door in the back that opens with our ghost claw. Now you can hook the ghost claw onto that little hook that's connected to the windshield. But I also noticed there's a space here that you can put it on. Now if you want to put the rope up over the hook too, some people do that. I'm not going to do that. It's kind of awkward. We'll just leave it like that. Close up the door and we're ready to go. I also have an extra ghost that I found. Didn't realize I had this. This did not come with the lot of the two ECTO-1s that I just got. I just had it in my parts bin, so we'll add this to the ECTO-1. That way when somebody buys it from me, they pretty much have everything they need to have a displayable ECTO-1, including the ghost. So there's our ECTO-1. It's all together. I've got the other ECTO-1. I put that together too. It just has a lot of broken pieces. It's missing the claw now, and it's also missing the back door. We'll use that as a parts car in case I need the parts some other time for another lot that I buy. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you've learned how to take this car apart and put it back together. I'm not going to fix these chairs like I said earlier. I just want to have the car presentable to sell to somebody so that they get something that is nice in their collection that they can use. It's not a perfect car, but it's almost complete. And you know what? I think it would look good in anybody's collection. So thanks for watching this episode of Toysbackzen. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. Stay tuned for my next video. Bye.